All right, we're here at my VermiHut indoor worm bin, and if you recall from last video, we fed bananas and strawberries, and we put a banana on the top with some pulverized oats to see if we could catch the worms in the act. And boy, what a crazy week. So let's go ahead and get a look at that. On day one, I could see that the oats were gone from the top and bottom, but were still around the banana. I was in for a surprise a little more than 24 hours later. Clearly, I could see that the worms were avoiding the banana, and I had a feeling it was heat. They almost formed an event horizon like a black hole where they stopped at the exact temperature they did not like. I imagine the circle of worms went all the way down in 3 dimensions, forming almost a bowl of worms wanting to get at the banana, but repelled by the heat. The temperature in the center was 99 degrees Fahrenheit or 37.2 degrees Celsius. So I put down ice to try to cool things down. 24 hours after that, the worms got a little closer to the banana, but they still were in a circle around it. This time the temperature was 98 degrees Fahrenheit, 36.7 degrees Celsius. So I put in even more ice to try to get the temperature down, and I decided to check on it every 6 hours. And sure enough, that did the trick. The worms were right up against the banana, and the temperature was down to a cool 85 degrees Fahrenheit or 29.4 degrees Celsius. So I figured, let's add just a little bit more ice to make sure things were permanently cooled down. And it worked. By day 4, the worms appeared to be invading the banana from all directions, and the temperature stabilized around 86 degrees. So I again put in some more ice to try to nudge it back towards room temperature. But disaster struck for humans and worms alike. Our air conditioner broke. The temperature in the house got up to 94 degrees Fahrenheit or 34.4 degrees Celsius at its peak. I decided to keep the lid closed during this time because I ran out of ice trying to save my son's saltwater fish tank fish. He just graduated from college with a marine biology degree and works at one of Central Florida's premier marine aquarium rehab centers. And he also has a YouTube channel of his own. I'll link it in the description. Unfortunately, the worms fled the banana and went to the outer edges of the bin where it was the coolest. The center of the bin was 96 degrees and the outside edges were 6 degrees lower. So of course, I added a lot more ice and a frozen water bottle to cool down the bin as our new air conditioner cooled down our house. It was an exhausting, miserable 2 days for all of us, so I missed a check-in, and sure enough, 2 days later, all was well, and the worms absolutely attacked the banana, burying it in castings. This time, the temperature was 84 degrees Fahrenheit, 28.9 degrees Celsius. The LED screen is broke, so it looks like a 3 instead of an 8 on the thermometer there. So after all that, here we are on day 9, and let's check in and actually dig in this time. And of course, even more so, a bigger divot here, and the banana is almost completely gone. Here is a little piece of it, I think. So I'm gonna get this out of the way, and those worms are just gonna go on the lid, so they'll get back in here. But let's go ahead and look in and see just how much of this banana is there. And it's like a brain under here. I'm just gonna dig in to show you what it's like. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And it feels just room temperature, no heat whatsoever. But check that out right there. Holy mackerel. That is just an absolute ton of worms. This is what we were expecting on maybe day 3 or day 4. But boy, oh boy, did we have a delay there. So check that out. Just an absolute ton of worms right here. They have been waiting, and now they are in there. So let's go ahead and get to the whole feeding zone. Clearly, there's no strawberries left. The only thing left is some bananas, and probably not much of the innards of the bananas. Here's a little piece. We've got some of our toilet paper rolls and paper towel rolls that are in there. And this is okay because this bin, this tray, is gonna go down to the pre-harvest tray, and we're gonna put a new tray on top. So all of this in the next 60 days will just get consumed by them. But check it out. Oh my gosh, look at that. This is the inside of the banana. You can see the inside there. Here's the peel right here. But right inside there, just an absolute tiny worm ball. I mean, check that out. They're glistening. Everything is looking awesome. Oh my gosh. Love it. Love this. All right. Man, without that heat, I bet you this would have happened way sooner. This feels like there's still banana mass inside of it. Oh my gosh. Holy mackerel. Check that out. Oh, I thought that was the banana left in there, and it wasn't. It was a worm ball. They have all made their way in, and there's just barely a little piece of banana in there. Oh my gosh, this is awesome. This is so awesome. Check that out. All right, let's see what else we got in here. Man, I haven't had a worm bin check-in this fun in a while. Oh my gosh, look at that. Inside the bananas, they are just going bananas. Oh my gosh, look at that. Wow. That is just amazing. Wow, if you wanna collect all your worms, just cut a banana in half and I bet you they will all go in there. Now there are at least 4,000 worms in here, so I was able to put, I think, 4 bananas in here and with no problem. Well, I guess a little bit of problem, right? It heated up, but clearly they are able to consume 4 bananas like crazy. If you've got a smaller bin, if you've got maybe 1,000 worms, maybe try with 1 banana. If you've got 100 worms, go with just a little piece of banana. Oh my gosh. That is off the mango seed from an experiment we did a while ago. And they are just loving it. Wow. I wonder with that heat if they were even able to get under here before. Probably not, which is why they are just attacking. Here we go. Here's another part of a banana that is just... Can you imagine opening a banana and seeing that? Oh my gosh. Check it out. Actually, I think that's the executive producer's worst nightmare. All right, let's go ahead. She's laughing up there. All right, let's keep digging in and we'll aerate this bin. And then we will add its last little feeding. Let's see what's in here. Oh my gosh, same thing. This is just unreal. I love this. This is so cool. I've got to think that these bananas would have been more consumed over 8 days if it wasn't for that heat and then our air conditioning going out, which was, oh my gosh, practically unbearable. Got up to 94 in the house. How ridiculous is that? All right, let's go ahead and aerate this and then we will set up the feeding. Oh my gosh, did you see that, Autumn?
That was amazing.
That was crazy.
I hope my pictures turned out good.
Oh yeah, you got a lot of good pictures.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe that.
I know. All right, so going through there, it just looks like they still have a lot to work through with those bananas. So I'm not putting the bananas down the center like I usually do with my leftovers. I'm just gonna leave them throughout the bin. You probably saw me burying some throughout there. So I'm just gonna put a light feeding in here so that we don't heat things up again. Right now the temperature in here is room temperature, somewhere in the high 70s. Let's go ahead and put down a little bit of bedding and food and let's finish this tray off. So let's just give them a little bit of bedding. And again, I know this bin is gonna spend 60 days before it's harvested, so they should be able to get to all this shreds that I've put in here. And then here's what we had in mind to feed. Just some food scraps that we've had. We've got some fast foods like celery, some slower foods like apples. We've got some tomatoes from the garden that just didn't quite work out. Put those in there. Lettuce stalk is definitely a fast food. That'll probably be gone in about 3 days or so. More tomato, some strawberry, another fast food. In fact, I like to start my feedings with a brand new bin with strawberry tops because the red flesh goes really fast, but the leafy top takes a little bit longer. So if you put one in, you can kind of find out where you fed and see how fast they're eating when you start a bin. We'll do some orange peels, a bit more strawberry top, and pepper. And I think that's all we're gonna do because they still have some banana to work through. We are gonna continue to give them the rest of the pulverized oats, and after these are done in this little container here, this magic bullet container, that will be it for the pulverized oats I've been putting in for 5 months here. Next, we'll just give them a little bit of coffee grounds. These are spent coffee grounds from our morning coffee. And coffee grounds are just another food source for them. And then finally, we'll add a little bit of, oh, that looked like a lot, but we'll add a little bit of pulverized eggshells, and that is grit for their gizzards. That's how they make their food smaller within their gut. So I hope you've enjoyed this check-in of my VermiHut and learned a little bit about heat in a worm bin. But I've got 2 other worm bins. I've got a tiny worm bin and it has about 600 worms in it. And I've got an outdoor worm bin and it has about 6,000 worms in it. So I run those very differently from this VermiHut and from each other. So go ahead and check that out. And if you've enjoyed the video, go ahead and hit the like. I appreciate that, and consider subscribing. So let's go ahead and add on some pulverized oats on the top. And then I think we will see this top tray for the last time. Actually, we'll check in on it one more time. So here go the pulverized oats, and I just put them on real lightly. I try to make sure that they don't clump up, because if they clump up, then the worms are not going to get to them. And it's almost like cement to them, and they have to wait till they decay on their own a little bit before they will eat them. So just kind of a light spreading, and that's why it took those 2 pounds of oats 5 months to go through all my worm bins, because I can't just dump them in all at once. So let's add the paper, and I hope everybody is having a great day. Hope your air conditionings are working. And I hope you're doing well with your worm bins. So happy vermicomposting, everybody. Take care now.